Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today I come to you with extremely exciting news, but news about which we need to be a little bit cautious. It looks like we're getting our next Eevee set. It looks like we are getting a Terastal Eeveelution set. And I think we can all agree that that is a very, 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 very exciting thing. Now, we need to, as always, remember, this hasn't been officially revealed, this isn't confirmed, this is not guaranteed or any of that. But there are some tweets going around which are very, very interesting. Lantana 2024 has gone and tweeted a bunch of Amazon links and has said this. Terastal Festival EX, now remember that is a set we talked about before that we are sure is coming. Confirmed information, Eevee and all of its evolved forms will be released on Friday, October the 25th, so it looks like the online reservation ban will be lifted on the following night. And then provides a bunch of Amazon links, such as Deck Shield Eevee. But these aren't live links at the moment. Collection File Eevee. Collection Refill Eevee. These are not links that take you anywhere at the moment. They are apparently going to in the future, but right now these aren't links that are there. If all of these are real, Deck Shield Eevee, Collection File Eevee, Collection Refill Eevee, Rubber Playmat Eevee, Long Card Box Eevee Collection, Damage Counter Case Eevee All-Stars, Carrying Case Eevee Collection, and the most exciting Plush Deck Case Eevee, if these are all real, and they turn out to be true, this is amazing. And this feels amazing. And this is going to be redonkulously expensive. But it doesn't actually, as far as I can see, there's nothing here which is actually full-on confirmed. The links that they are showing are not currently live. And this is information which I think at the time being we need to take with a little bit of a pinch of salt. Yes, it looks like it might be true. Yes, I've seen enough to come and bring you the news, but I've not seen enough to come and say, this is happening, 100% confirmed, let's start getting excited. Now, Terastal Festival, yeah, that is happening. I've seen enough of that to be 100% sure. Including all the evolutions. I mean, look, here's another tweet from Carter Knight over on Twitter. I think the information about the high-class pack that everyone is talking about right now is a test of loyalty, so I won't say anything about it. It's not saying it's not true. I don't believe that's what they're saying anyway. But it's saying, let's just hold our horses for a moment. This is not something that's actually true and confirmed right now. This is something that might end up being true. But right now, I mean, a test of loyalty, I think, is a wonderful turn of phrase. Maybe we end up getting all of these. But it is worth noting, like, that the whole point of Terastal Festival is that it is a high-class set. It is an end-of-year set. At least that's our assumption right now. We're working on a little more than a trademark, honestly, for Terastal Festival. But it seems like an end-of-year set. Seems like the kind of set along the same lines as something like Shiny Treasures EX, for instance. And one of the things we know about a set like Shiny Treasures EX, not much new stuff. So it's largely a reprint set of a few new cards. You know, we got Great Tusken Iron Treads, the second versions of them. They were new cards in that set. You know, we got a couple of other cards, but nothing really that major. Spafra made its debut in that particular set, but let's not pretend it was some kind of amazing set absolutely full of new cards. It wasn't. So there are reasons not to believe this. Remember that Stellar Miracle, when that was initially revealed, or I suppose when it came online with listings, etc., we also saw Scarlet and Violet starter set, Terra type, Stellar Sylveon. Well, if we've got a Sylveon deck coming, does that tell us that we're also going to be getting Sylveon in a set as well? That's generally not the way it goes. So if we are getting this Sylveon deck, and the information on that is a lot more reliable right now than the information we've got on all of these Eevees coming out today, then that would be a good argument against it. So as exciting as this news is, and it is, and as much as we all want it to be true, and we do, we need to just pump the brakes a little bit here. And we need to remember that a lot of the information that comes out online comes from various different places. It's easy for it to be misinterpreted, and it's easy for somebody to say something and then it get picked up by a lot of other people and then it starts spreading like wildfire. We've not seen too much. I've not seen any proof of this right now. What I've seen is some people in Japan who may well know about this kind of stuff, who are saying that it's going to be true. That's what we've seen so far. And I want it to be true, and I believe it might well be true, but it doesn't explain stuff like why would we be getting all the Eevees in a high-class pack? That doesn't really make much sense. Why would we get all the Eevees in that high-class pack when we've previously had a Sylveon deck? That doesn't make a huge amount of sense. There are reasons to be a little bit tentative with this. And also, why would it be a high-class pack? Like, last time around, we had Eevee Heroes. Last time we had the Eevees coming around as a real thing. The set that gave us the Vs and VMAXs was Eevee Heroes. And that was the set of the Scarlet and Violet era. That was the only set, really, over in Japan that remained borderline impossible to get hold of. Most other sets, at some point, got a reprint or something of some description. But booster boxes, the VMAX box, the special set, all of this just ended up being an absolute nightmare to get hold of from the day it released. I managed to get a couple of boxes, mostly because the lovely Antoine Boulet hooked me up from literally in Japan. The vast majority of people found it very difficult to get hold of that set. It was phenomenally successful. And Pokemon know it was phenomenally successful. And if I was Pokemon, if you were Pokemon, would you want to put the Eevees in a high-class pack? And bearing in mind, sets like Shiny Treasures EX are always super exciting because they're the high-class packs. Or would you want them in their own set that you could really market around being evolutions? I would want them in their own set. Unless they are coming in their own set and they're being reprinted in Terastal Festival. But firstly, that's not the rumour we're hearing. And secondly, we've not seen anything to suggest an Eevee set coming between now and the end of the year. And we're kind of running out of time. So there's several reasons to believe this isn't true. Having a whole suite of new cards like this in a high-class pack, not generally what we see. Having Sylveon in here when it's already had its own deck, that's not something we would generally see. And putting the Eevees in here when they would be in their own set and it would make basically infinite money, again, it is something we don't really expect. There's 3 good reasons to doubt this is going to happen. But the information is out there. It is being shared around. People are talking about it. And it might be true. We might be getting the Eevees in Terastal Festival. I'm not saying it's not true. And I'm not saying it's not going to happen. Just to be perfectly clear. I am saying that sometimes we hear information and I'm like, mate, that sounds absolutely spot on. That sounds perfect. Stellar Miracle, for instance. Hey, that's going to be the Stellar set, and oh, by the way, it just so happens to be the perfect timing to bring Terapagos into the game. As soon as you hear about that, you're like, oh my goodness, that makes so much sense. This, I don't think does. Not to that same kind of level. It might happen, but I think we need to be taking it with a pinch of salt. I'm already seeing people taking this as confirmed, and I'm not saying it's not happening. I cannot stress that enough. But I am saying I have seen nothing to suggest this is confirmed, and there are reasons to doubt the information. Just to be perfectly clear. Now, if it does happen, think back to Well, what we got as Evolving Skies, what Japan got as Eevee Heroes. I mean, all of those Evolution EXs, obviously Moonbreon being the big one, but things like Leafeon and Sylveon, I mean, it was the best little set we've had. It was the most hyped, the most exciting, the most difficult to get a hold of, the most valuable hits, the most valuable boxes, etc., of any set in years. It was a phenomenal set. And the high-class packs on their own are great. So if you take a high-class pack and you basically mash that with Eevee Heroes 2, would give us one of the most hyped sets we've ever seen. But I'm going to be honest with you, there's reason to doubt. For now, I want to know if you doubt it, I want to know if you believe it, I want to know anything you want to tell me, so let me know in the comment section. Get us! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Uncle Pokepeter, who's been a supporter of ours for a long time now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.